An ITV News investigation can exclusively reveal that the hotel manager found guilty of negligent manslaughter over the deaths of Christy and Bobby Shepherd has been running a different hotel which takes thousands of holidaymakers from Thomas Cook.
Have you anything to say to the parents?
Just one of the many exclusives now shared across ITV News. Chris Choi's investigation was broadcast first on ITV Calendar.
My attitude was, I think we should break it on YTV because it is very much their story. We've had tons of cooperation and it doesn't in any way deflect from what we're doing at a national level.
Close cooperation after the Tunisian terror attack meant ITV News spoke to many of the victims first.
I just want to get home. I just want to see my family, my children.
Often as not, it was the region that found the numbers for those people, gave it to us, we found them, did the interview and got it back.
In the seconds before it crashed, Leah Washington knew what was about to happen on the Smiler roller coaster.
It was a single bid from One ITV News for those injured in the Alton Tower crash, which secured this interview for all programmes.
Because the interviews were exclusive and we were able to film them in advance of the transmission day, we actually had the time to be able to sit and think about how we would tailor a piece for both regions as well as for national news.
So how do you feel about Dignitas tomorrow? I can't wait. Yeah?
And when ITV Wales followed a family's journey to Dignitas, the story was shared.
These are the last photographs of Jackie taken in her final hour.
She was asked many times, is this what you want to do? Do you want to die? And she's like, yes. Yep.
Well, Rob was able to break the story online, had our competitors in a spin. Then he cut a bespoke package for the network news and did a live. They even mentioned our programme in the evening, which was great. And then for the 6 o'clock news, we had this fantastic report from Rob out in Switzerland. Utterly compelling, distinctive journalism.
Rob cut a 2-minute VT for us. We took him live off the back as well onto the lunchtime news. And that's a really good example of how the network can benefit from the regions, not just on hard-breaking news, but with other content as well.
Well, Nazir is representing himself in court here. They say that Nazir was actually just days away from perpetrating a major attack on the streets of Manchester.
Here, Robert Moore helps us keep across a terror trial.
Just don't be afraid to ask, whether it's lives, whether it's interviews, whether it's online, whether it's packages. I think the message from all of us here in the Washington Bureau is, we're hungry, we're keen to help.
Listen, we've made a lot of progress in the planning, coming together on joint bids, on getting something for everyone from a project. What I'd now love to see us focus on is that dynamic decision making where something's happening and someone just automatically thinks, I'll tip off the network, I'll tip off the region.
A self-taught artist at just 19, his work is widely praised.
And that's what happened on this story, first aired on ITV Wales.
Looking at this extraordinary picture because our next story is about an incredible artist with a very, very special talent.
He was getting quite an angry young man and also then very reclusive. And it was that time then that he picked up his pencils and he started to draw.
Carl Edwards from ITV Wales recognised that this would make a great Good Morning Britain story. We wouldn't have known about it had he not got in touch with us.
And that, of course, a really great example of One ITV cooperation. Great stories from the regions that can be showcased to a national audience.
This is news cooperation on the ground. Here in Manchester, regional and network news are sharing resources on a teenage terror trial. Rohit Khatri was inside following proceedings, while Granada was news gathering in Blackburn.
It's one of our great assets in ITV News and across ITV News that we can talk to, we can call on, we can assist or take assistance from our colleagues right across the ITV regional network, across ITV programmes, at Good Morning Britain.
While at the Hillsborough inquest in Warrington, Granada's satellite truck allows us to go live here too, with Damon Green and Andy Bonner sharing information and the same crew. There's now a daily news call where network and regional newsrooms share information on their stories so nothing is missed.
A good example of the 5:30 call really working is the example of Addenbrooke's Hospital in Cambridge. Anglia raised on the call that it had been put into special measures. GMB weren't aware of that story. They were able to get the material from Anglia and it led their programme the next morning.
It was on the news call when producers on ITV's Real Stories heard about a young transgender girl, and Hannah Gamlin at ITV West Country worked on it too.
Time for dress.
So this is like really important, isn't it, this one, do you think?
I'd formed such an attachment with the story that it was really important for me to be able to follow it through.
We invited her to join the Real Stories team on a secondment so that she could make that story, sent her out filming, then brought her into the edit and just showed her how we do things from a network point of view. And I think it was really beneficial for all parties.
In her 26 years at ITV, Alison Ryan, network head of production, has never known such good cooperation and now offers secondment opportunities.
I want people to come here and take things away that we'll see on screen in the regions. Equally, you know, my guys here don't have the joy of opting. There may be things that we learn from people coming here that we didn't even think about before.
Ella now no longer needs to go to hospital for dialysis.
Oh, my back!
Leaving more time for drama lessons.
As this story of 7-year-old Ella shows, it takes a simple call to share an idea, keeping ITV News at the heart of the story.
Got you something sparkly. Would you like to have a little look in there and see what...
Where's the cliche?